Happy Monday to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. It's that time of the afternoon when we give you an update on what's happening out in the tropics. Of course, we're still in the first few weeks of the 2023 hurricane season, and we want to keep you up to date on exactly what's happening out there. Let's first check out the Atlantic Ocean, and things are fairly quiet. We do have a couple of little disturbances out here, but overall, nothing that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring to potentially develop into a tropical cyclone, meaning a tropical depression, tropical storm, or a hurricane. Of course, as we get further into hurricane season, we'll start to really monitor what's happening in the eastern Atlantic and see what's coming off of the coast of Africa. But for now, things are pretty quiet. Even over towards the Bahamas, there's a few showers and storms closer to that area, but still nothing that's being monitored for potential tropical development. The Caribbean, fairly quiet as well. You can see a few showers and storms rolling over portions of Cuba down towards Central and South America. A few showers and storms here as well. However, as we check out the Caribbean, Eastern, Central, Western Caribbean, Yucatan Peninsula, not a lot happening. So things are fairly tranquil for now. Let's zoom up into the Gulf of Mexico, and you can see our buoys out in the eastern Gulf picking up wind speeds around 10 miles per hour, 10 to 11 miles per hour in the east northeastern Gulf, and a little bit lower wind speeds as you head a little bit farther to the south and east. So not a ton of wind out there. We've got fairly tranquil conditions. We actually have high pressure sitting over much of the Gulf, and that area of high pressure is going to surge even more into the Houston area, and that should act to keep these tropical systems away from us if they develop, at least for the next week or so. So overall, things are pretty quiet out in the Gulf of Mexico, out in the Caribbean, and out in the Atlantic. However, we all know that hurricane season runs through the end of November, so we are expecting more action as we go through the remainder of the season. I want to give you another view of our tropical season outlook. This is from NOAA, or the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This is the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season outlook, and they did go with a 40% shot for a normal hurricane season, so an average number of storms, 30% chance for an above normal season, 30% shot for a below normal season. So overall, the range that they gave was 12 to 17 named storms. Out of those, 5 to 9 becoming hurricanes, and of those, 1 to 4 becoming major hurricanes. So we're still not out of the woods yet. This is just the first few weeks of hurricane season. Even though things are quiet now, they could ramp up quickly with little notice, so make sure that you are prepared. One good thing working in our favor for this season is the fact that we are expected to shift into a much stronger El Nino pattern. The last 3 hurricane seasons, we've been in a La Nina pattern, and that usually favors a cooler Pacific, warmer Atlantic, less wind shear, which would favor more storm development and more Atlantic activity. But especially as we get into the peak of hurricane season this year in August and September, we are really forecast to be in a stronger El Nino. So that's going to mean more wind shear likely and less Atlantic activity. So we are still forecasting about a near average, near normal season. So regardless of how many storms we have, you still need to be prepared. So what can you do to be prepared? Well, one great thing you can do is plan and prepare with an insurance checkup. You need to get with your agent, know what your policy says, go over all of the details of that policy, and make sure that you are considering or you have that flood insurance, especially if you are in a flood prone area. We know much of the Houston area is flood prone, so definitely a good idea to have that flood insurance. And make sure to keep your documents with you, all of those important documents, insurance papers, any other important documents. It's a great idea to take those with you if you have to evacuate. Other things you can do to prepare if we do have a storm headed towards us: you can assemble disaster supplies. Make sure you have enough food and water if you're not evacuating, if you're going to try to ride it out at home. Make sure to keep the gas tank full. Make sure to have that emergency radio, batteries, phone chargers. Also a good idea to have extra stock of any medicine, any prescriptions that you may have, because you never know how long you'll be stuck at home and you won't be able to get out to replenish those. And also, great idea to have that cash on hand. These are just some things you can think about as we go further into hurricane season. Things are quiet now, but we all know that can quickly change. Typically, we are fairly quiet through June, through much of July, but as we get into August and September, that's when you really start to see that peak, especially right around the second week of September. That's usually the most active time period. So just because we don't have anything out there right now, of course, like I said, don't let your guard down, because we've got what could still be a potentially active and busy season as we go through the next several months. So make sure you stay alert and keep it here. Of course, if we do see something developing out there, we will keep you updated. Also, great idea to have the Fox 26 weather app downloaded on your phone. You can get any tropical weather updates that you may want or need, our forecast cones, the Follow Me feature, and any hurricane watches or warnings that we get in the future, since we don't have any right now. So grab our Fox 26 weather app if you can. Great thing to have on your phone as you are out and about. Dealing with the heat, that's what we're dealing with now. A lot of heat headed our way for this week, but fortunately with high pressure building in, that should help to block any tropical activity for at least the next week for Southeast Texas. All right, well, that's your update for today. I hope you enjoy your evening. Stay safe out there in the heat and have a good one.